If you close your eyes.
Welcome back to the Control Corner. This is Crimson, and today, War of the Spark is out and live. We're going to open up some packs. This is going to be a long, slower video. Just giving you a fair warning. As I open these packs, and no, I will not be opening them in times 10. I will be opening them one at a time. Actually, I will do the first one at times 10, and beyond that, everything will be open one at a time. Unless it's going extremely too long, then we might change that. I will talk about most of the cards we're getting. So think of this as kind of my set review and an opening. So let's go ahead and just open 4 real quick. That'll bring us to an even number. Now, one of the things I did and that you can do is you can craft a lot of these commons, uncommons, if you have like just a ton of wild cards. That will help you reach your vault a little faster. So, just taking a quick look, everything looks pretty average. This is actually, pretty decent. Gives your a mass token, trample. I think a mass is pretty good. I think this is way over cost though. This should have been a 3-drop. Alright, let's take a look. Wow. She is actually a very good Planeswalker. So 4 CC, 5 loyalty plus. Now you'll notice all the Planeswalkers in this set will have a passive ability. Her passive ability is spells and abilities your opponent's control cannot cause you to discard or sacrifice permanents. This is really good going against certain discard decks or, some of the other decks that are kind of annoying. But she does cost 4, which means you are not going to drop her before they Thought Seizure, Thought Erasure, any of those. Unfortunately. Her -3 is really good. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. So, not a bad card at all. Quick look through here. If it cost 2, this would be fine. If it costs 3, it would be maybe. At 4, not playable. And remember, on this channel, one of the reasons why we call this segment the Control Corner is because we look at things from a control aspect. Giant Growth, Giant Growth is always going to be good. It's always going to be good. It's a card that you should always be aware of, especially with playing control, because a lot of times we'll let a 1-drop go through because we're not terribly worried about our life, and we don't really want to trade our creatures because we rarely ever have a lot of creatures. Giant Growth is something you need to be conscious of. Samut Sprint. This card is phenomenal. Instant for 1. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn, and you scry. There are multiple decks out there that are using this. I know the Blue-Red Wizards deck is using this to great effect. This can also easily be used with Feather. I think that's actually where you will see it a lot, is in Feather decks. Alright, here we go. This is one of the cards I actually was hoping to get a playset of. And whatever I don't get a playset of, I'll just buy with wild cards if I need to. 1 black, 1 red, 1/1 haster. That's decent. Not bad. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, and that is very important that you can also hit a planeswalker with this, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this guy starts ramping pretty quickly. When he dies, you will deal damage equal to its power to any target. This is just a phenomenal card. One of the best rares in the set. This card is insanely good. Yeah, I already crafted 4 of them. That one's going to the vault. That's okay. What do you want me to say? It's better than a negate. Can't be countered. If you're playing blue-white, which, if you're not playing blue-white, why? Play blue-white. Just by far my favorite uncommon in the set. And this card is amazing. So this, no. It's always good to get a couple of them, though. Let's go one more. That'll put us at an even number. Emergent Zone. This is my style of card. What makes this card not useful to me from a control aspect is this card will cost you the tempo of 2. So not only are you going to have to pay 1 colorless to activate its ability, but you have to tap this land also. And then sacrifice it. Yeah, I get it. If it cost 0, it would be tap this, which is still costing you land, and then sacrificing it. I think at the 2 land cost of this, it's not worth it for what you need to do. But there will be decks that will need to run these for certain cards. Not a bad card, just not a card that I would consider in the top tier. Kazmina, I'm sure. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm gonna butcher every freaking word. I am terrible with names. Just gonna be how it works. 4 drop, 5 loyalty, create a token, and then loot. Not bad. I mean that's fine. Spells your opponent's cast that target a creature or planeswalker you control cost 2 more to cast. That's not bad. Makes a Vraska's Contempt cost 6. Allows you to counter it a little easier. Especially if you are running spell snares, quenches, stuff like that. I really wish they'd reprint Mana Leak. Not a bad one. Still 4 drop. Maybe. At first glance, I thought this card was just terrible. Just absolute garbage. Let's go over it. 1 black, 2 colorless. Choose up to 4 target cards in your graveyard. If you control Bolas Planeswalker, return those cards to your hand. Otherwise, your opponent chooses 2 of them. Leave the chosen card in your graveyard and put the rest in your hand. I mean, if you control Bolas Planeswalker, this card is phenomenal. But even if you don't, I think it still has potential. We will have to see. Alright, let's open 10. Nice. Okay, we already went over Tamiyo. Soul Blaze, it's okay. I mean, I guess it's a 4 mana Wrath. Okay, maybe. Yeah, it's a 4 mana Wrath in Boros colors. It's okay. Not bad. Liliana. Card's really good. I mean, straight up, it's a really good planeswalker. Now, will she see play? We don't know. She does cost 6. I don't know if we're going to see play with her. Vivian. Not bad. Not my style. I don't generally play green or creature decks, but I definitely see the value in giving all your creatures flash. She's good. This card's amazing. I love this card. This card straight up is a forecasting cost Wrath in these colors. That leaves you with a creature. Yeah, it's a good card. This card's going to be played. Nessa. Again, I don't generally play green. You may see green in a Bant deck like Super Friends that I might play. This Nessa's amazingly good. Even if she didn't have any of the other stuff. Just that first line of text. Whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional forest. Card's good. I'm going to counterspell her every day of the week. Probably one of my favorite rares in the set. I think this card's a lot better than people give it credit for. It's a Remand. Remand is an amazing tempo counterspell. Except for this also copies the card. So you get the effect. It is a good card. It's a great card. Alright. Probably the most expensive card in the set if you're looking at the financial values of cards. I believe he's up 27, 28. This card is sick, and it might make me play a Grixis deck. He is incredibly powerful, and yeah, I mean, so let's look at him. It's a 5-drop for 4 loyalty. I wish he had more loyalty. I understand why he doesn't. He has all the other loyalty abilities of all planeswalkers on the battlefield. That includes your opponents. You get to draw a card, and they have to exile a card from play or hand. That is a great +1. I wish it was +2, but, wishes can't do dishes, right? -3, destroy target creature or planeswalker. That's pretty standard on Bolas. -8, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game. The reason why he is so sought after right now is he works really well with the Elder Scroll, which obviously he should. There are some janky combo decks out there, which you might actually see me play, that revolve around him and Sexy Jace, which is the 3-drop Jace from an Ixalan set, where you can pretty much go infinite Boluses, where you can just keep making copies of Bolus. Yeah, let's go ahead and open up a couple more, do a couple more singles. Take a quick look. These bonds, this bond is terrible, period. This bond is absolutely garbage. Some of the other bonds, not so bad. Another widespread. When we start seeing too many duplicates, then we're going to hit the 10. This bond, it's okay. 5 to reanimate. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. 1 green, 1 red, 1 colorless, 0/4 haste. When it attacks, it gets +X. Where X is the greatest. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, actually, I kind of really like that card. Especially if you're like turn 1 Llanowar, turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion, turn 3 this. That's really good. Gideon's Sacrifice. Another common that I think is incredibly strong in this format. And there are definitely ways to abuse this, including the big Reanimator card. In fact, I think you might even see some Reanimator decks come up. This card's definitely worth trying out. Oath of Kaya. At first glance, when I saw this, I was not impressed. So let's go over it. 1 black, 1 white, 1 colorless, and legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, so if they attack your planeswalker with 3 creatures, it still only does 2 damage to that player, and you gain 2 life. It is not per creature; it is a one-time thing. Originally, why I was not impressed with this card is I did not realize the 3 damage was any target. I believed it was to a player. So with this being any target, I definitely feel like this is a much better card than I originally gave it credit for. Yeah, this card's decent. We're going to see it get played. Okay, another Wrath of God. D-Spark. D-Spark is probably one of the best uncommons in this set. Yeah, this is a card worth playing, easily. It exiles a permanent. How many times have you used Vraska to kill one of their bombs or their planeswalker? This does it at 2 less. Granted, the thing has to cost 4 or more. I get that. Doesn't matter. This card is insanely good. Gideon's Tram, target player sacrifices creature. Okay, yeah, we've seen this multiple times over. This card is quite interesting and will probably be tried out in a lot of Walker decks. I like this card. I don't really have a home for it yet, but it is a card I am constantly looking at. This card's crap. just being honest. I mean, yes, it seems okay, 2 for a 2/3, but the crew 2 is what kills it. If it had a crew 1, this card would be playable. As it is now, it is not playable. Or even at crew 2, if it... Yeah, no. It needed to be crew 1 to be playable. Okay, here's the white bond. Tap all creatures your opponent controls. Creatures you control gains lifelink. So it's kind of like it's like part of a sleep and then part of... Yeah, it's okay. It's going to finish games, but I don't know if you're ever going to run it in a white weenie deck because it costs 5. But if you do, it's probably a one-of, and it will break the stalemate.
We'll make this look easy.
Jace. Okay, Jace is great. This card's a fun card. It's going to make some janky combo decks. Everybody's going to have some fun with it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. It's a decent card. This Planeswalker is incredible. A 3-drop, straight up, you could just play it in a blue deck. And technically... only costs 2 because you're going to -1 to untap a land if you need to. Which is a great card. In a control deck, are you ever going to use the passive? Probably not. But just the ability to have ramp in blue is not bad at all. Counterspell, it's not playable. Costs too much. The other Niv is it. People like this card. I'm not a fan, but people do like it. So, yeah, it is what it is. Let's take a quick look here. Enters the battlefield. Zombie tokens have Death Touch. That's okay. Now, I do like that this doesn't say army tokens. It says zombie tokens, which means you can definitely do some hijinks. Role reversal. Exchange control of 2 target permanents that share a permanent type. That's okay. So change an artifact for an artifact, a creature for a creature, a land for a land. Sometimes that actually might be worth running in a sideboard. Take their Azcanta. Lazarus Plating. Yeah, I like this card. I think that's a good card. Gives you a creature and hexproof. Yeah, I really like that card. And Ignite the Beacons. Gondor calls for aid. I think this card's better than people give it credit. I have a couple friends who kind of pew on this card because it costs 5. I think at instant speed, grabbing 2 Planeswalkers, it's fine. Especially in Drago or Planeswalker Drago, you'll have no problem playing this. This will be in the deck. Not a 4 of, obviously, but 1 and 2, definitely. Alright, Desperate. This card's awesome. I mean, destroy target creature, search your library for a basic land, put it in the battlefield tapped. The other thing is, it's fucked up. That art is fucked up. That's the girl from the blue-green growth spell. So she went out looking for land and she died. Smoot. No, I'm not a fan of this one. Yeah, I'm just... It's okay. I'm not going to play it. I do like this guy a lot, actually. A 1-drop that can block their 1 or 2 drops usually has reach, and when it comes into play, you ramp. Yeah, because it puts the land directly into the battlefield. I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is a solid card. In fact, in my opinion, this feels like it might even be a contender for some of the other mana dorks. Oh, look. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think it's playable. I think he is very playable and going to be a very fun deck to play. With him being legendary, it does kind of hurt because it means at max you can do 2 damage. You could spark double him and get a second one out. So, interesting. Mana Geode, I really wish these cards would cost 2. These mana rocks. Now, I get it if they cost 2, you would play it on turn 2, then you could tap it to play a 1-drop. I get it that if it costs 2, it would have to come into tap, but I would just like to see a 2-drop comes into play, untap, taps for a color. Now, single combat. I think this is a great card for control. Yes, it's going to leave behind a creature for them. That's okay. Usually you have ways to deal with creatures. But more importantly, what this does is it does turn down go wide strategies. And the biggest thing is, yes, you may not be able to play creatures on your next turn, but you will be untapped. So by the time that they can start playing creatures again, you have an untapped board of mana for counterspells. This card is way better than people think of it. Let's go ahead and... I know I said I wasn't going to do 10s, but let's do 10s. Just going to start seeing duplicates here shortly. MTGA WAR. Kind of a bad card. It's fine. Celebration. 5, 6, 7 cost. You could proliferate 4 times, so you could pay 7 to ultimate. Nah, I mean, maybe. I guess in mono green ramp it works, or with the Nissa. Oh, one of the Elder Gods or God Eternals. 5 for a 5/5 Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, double the power of each creature you control until end of turn. These creatures gain vigilance. And then it has the Reborn ability, which is if it dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into an owner's library third from the top. I think the God Eternals are good. They're really good. This one especially, this one literally goes turn 5, you double up a clock. The one downside that I feel about this is it doesn't have haste, so you might want to play it in Wilderness, or oh god, the one that gives Riot, maybe. Arcbow. I think this card's amazing for a green deck. Pay X, tap it, discard a card, look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature with a converted mana cost of X or less from among them onto the battlefield. That seems strong. It lets you dig, and yeah, no, this card's this card's strong. Bolus's Citadel. Kind of a newer style Necropotence. So 6, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than paying its mana cost. Yeah, it's going to enable some janky combo decks. We'll see. Karn's Bastion, this is a modern playable card, in my opinion. It's going to see play in other formats. This card's super strong in any kind of Super Friends deck. Commander card right here. This one is 100% a commander card. Pretty much destroy everything or one thing. Spark Double. I like this card. I think it's super strong. It is a clone that can clone a Planeswalker and not cause Legendary to hit. I'm a fan. I've seen it. The finale. Here we go. We got a finale. 2 of a color and then X, and then it does something. This one is 2 white. Create X 2/2 white soldier tokens with vigilance if X is 10 or more. Also creates 4 4s. It creates X 4/4 flying white angel tokens with vigilance, but it does say also create. So you still get the soldiers and you get the angels. X equals 10 is kind of hard. That's not something super easy. That means you got to have access to 12 mana. Unless you're playing Storm the Vault or Growing Rights of Iklamok or Nissa, I just don't see you hitting the X very often. But in general, they're still fine. They're fine. Finality of Eternal. Here's the other finale, the black one. Destroy up to 3 target creatures with X toughness or less. If X is 10 or more, return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think they missed an opportunity here. This could have been give all creatures -X/-X. Would have been a nice Toxic Deluge style effect. Gave black a board wipe that it could use. Puts it above the curve. So an example is Cry the Chimerium costs 3 to give -2/-2. This would cost 4 to give -2/-2. Ritual Suit kills things that are 3 mana or less, but it costs 4. Most 3 mana creatures are 3/3s or 2/2s. So you would have to pay 5 to kill a 3/3 with this. I think it would have been fine the other way. But I think they were worried. This may see play in the fact that you have Cabal Coffers, or Cabal Stronghold. This could easily see play in a Reanimator style deck. Mobilized District. I think this card is phenomenal. This is a 4-up for me. I'm definitely going to be playing this in blue-white control. Definitely a card that I think will go up in value too. Chandra is good in a burn deck, but she does cost 4. So she's competing with Experimental Frenzy. So we'll see. We will see. Massacre Girl's fine. I think she takes a little bit more work than I want to put into it to make her work. But she can definitely do some crazy stuff. The Lich, 5/4 for a 5/4 trample. Deals combat damage to a planeswalker or person return to your hand. Target creature or planeswalker card in your graveyard that wasn't put there this combat. It's okay. This combat is a way you can't return this to your hand. If it died, do the combat with the trample. If it put it into play, I would say, yeah, I'd build a deck around this. As it is, might put it in like a Muldroth Brawl deck. We'll see. Okay, blue finale. I like this. I think this is a great card. Draw X cards. If X is 10 or more, shuffle your graveyard into your library, draw X cards, untap 5 land. Should have said untap X land, but I understand why they didn't do that. They do not want to create those kind of issues that they've had before. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Yeah, this was a solid card. Again, be nice if it was instant, but we do have the new Teferi, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. Feather. Feather is sick. You are going to see feather decks. Flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it in your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Yeah, just great card. Blasting Zone, good card. Very good card. Would have been better if it didn't come into play with counters, but I think it might have been too powerful in Modern. Probably wouldn't have been too powerful in Standard, but would have been a little disruptive in Modern. So it had to come in play with one of the counters. You can remove the counters. There are a couple ways to remove the counters. But yeah, just a good card. Crew 1, trample whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Becomes an artifact creature. So if you cast a bolt, it doesn't need to be crewed. And gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's okay. I mean, I don't dislike it. Alright. So, the most important thing I think about this card is the fact that it's a legendary at such a low CC. Lands on the battlefield and then land cards and graveyards can't be targeted spells or abilities your opponents control. Your opponent cannot play land cards from their graveyard. Yeah, I mean, because it is a low drop legendary, like this and Fibblefep, you might see it played with Mox Amber a lot more than normal. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see him and a Feather and a Mox Amber style deck. So we'll see how that pans out. I mean, I'm not putting money on it, that's for sure. Another tank. Here we go. Alright, this card I think is insanely good. 6. Yes, I know it costs 6 mana. Choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Deals damage equal to their converted mana cost. Put those cards on the battlefield into your control. Use Gideon's Sacrifice. So now this says 7 mana, 1 white. Sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker, and then put everything into play. It's you may see Reanimator decks coming up. It's okay. I think this might be more popular outside of Standard. It's probably one of the best rares in the whole freaking set right here. One red, one colorless, a 1/3 trample. When it attacks, you may cast target instant or sorcery with a converted mana cost equal to or less than his power without paying its mana cost. If the card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. It's you'll see. This card is going to disrupt some stuff. Definitely. Oh, yeah, we are running a little longer than I thought we would, so let's keep going here. Time Wipe. I like it. Of course I like it. It's a blue-white card. It's a blue-white Wrath card. It does cost 5. It would have been nice if it cost 1 colorless instead of 2. But you get to return one of your creatures to your hand, so you can return your Bolus's Augur or the Scry 2 chick, the 1/3. Lets you, hell, even a Murmuring Mystic. You might want to return that to your hand just to wipe the board if you had to. It's a great card. God Eternal Kefnet. This is a really good card. We're gonna see this played a lot more. So 4 for a 4/5 flyer. I mean, if that's all it said, it probably still would get played. You may reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery this way, copy that card, and you may cast the copy. The copy costs 2 less. So you still get to put the card into your hand. You're just playing a copy of it. It's super good. You're definitely going to see it. Good, we got another Dread Horde. Finale Promise. This one's been talked about a little bit by people. Yeah, it's okay. You may cast up to 1 target instant or sorcery, or up to 1 target sorcery. So you can play an instant and a sorcery from your graveyard with a converted mana cost of X or less. If X is 10 or more, you double those. It's not bad. God Eternal Bantu. 5 for a 5/6 menace. That's decent. That's very decent. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of permanents, then draw that many cards. Definitely, I think this is going to find a home in mono black aggro. It does allow you to sacrifice land to draw cards, so this will be a great way to fill your hand back up. Yeah, solid card. Fibblefep. 2 mana cost, legendary. That makes it a good card just by itself. It's a 1/1 that draws you a card when it comes into play. If it becomes, you know, it's got the illusion ability. If it becomes the target of a spell, you shuffle it back into your deck. If you would play it from your library, then it costs 2, or it draws you 2 cards instead. There we go. We hit our vault. 2 shitty submarines. Okay, let's talk about it. 8 fucking mana. So if you're not reanimating this somehow, I don't think it's worth playing. At 8 mana, you should be killing them already. Beyond that, yes, it's nice. Flying, first strike, vigilance, crew 4. You spit out. You crew it once and you get to attack with it. You got the crew for the rest of the, the rest of the time. Just, it's not worth playing. It's not good. And it looks like everything but this one's a repeat. So, yeah, if you're playing Bant walkers, you're playing this at Johnny. Being able to put loyalty counters on all your other planeswalkers is perfectly fine. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, yes, gains you life, allows you to proliferate pretty much. You're gonna play it. What we got there? Okay. Last 10. Another Massacre, another Mobilize. Got Eternal Okakura. Okitra. 5 for a 3/6 double strike, so 5 for a 6/6. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 5/5 black zombie token with vigilance. Yeah, she's strong. Finale of Devastation. X green. Search your library and graveyard for a creature card with a converted. So you can get a creature out of your graveyard if you need it. Put it directly into play. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control gain +X in haste. It's good. It's fine. I don't think it's as good as some people think, but it's not bad. Commence the end game. Here we go. Instant 6-drop. Draw 2 cards. Get a token. Very good. Can't be countered. This will be played. I'm gonna pop that vault real quick. Okay. You know what we didn't get? We didn't get a Teferi at all. Or an Ugin. Jeez. That's pretty harsh. Alright, well, in the next video, we will start doing some deck techs. So, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.